Let us begin. It's 10:03 p.m. And the first two cards that I saw were the 10 of Diamonds, 10 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Pentacles, 13. We are definitely in some very new, unknown territory. Yeah, very new. It's so new. It's like so new. I love a new thing. I do. Like the Joker and the 4 of Diamonds. Yeah. Phew, man, this is sturdy energy. So, I like that. Let's put those dudes right there. Yeah. You should just prop yourself up on the chair there, sir. Yeah. Get comfortable. The Joker and the 4 of Diamonds coming after the 10 and 3 of Diamonds. So we've got the 3, 4, the 10, and the Joker. So it's really good. That means that there's definitely been some things wrapped up, done, established, definitely with that 4, and a lot of good new energy coming in. And very sweet, very, very good for real stuff. And they're speaking to me about the situation of getting what you've asked for. Getting what you've asked for. That is going to be so seriously up to the individual. And apparently the collective asked for something really nice. And worked for it. And worked towards it, and seriously, very seriously, and sacrificed, took great sacrifice, and was like, okay, no problem. I'll just, wanted to work towards their vision, which obviously would have a type of fantastic, maybe even impossible, highly mysterious result, or no result at all, and to not care. Like it doesn't matter, I'm doing this, and coming and facing the fact that there was so much going on that they didn't know, or then they couldn't know, and accepting their naivete, working on the naivete that they could evolve from. And getting used to the idea that things are that they really couldn't predict and they couldn't know, and being okay with that, and totally okay with that, more than okay with that, becoming friends with these things, friends with what they don't know, not being afraid of what they don't know, and just knowing that as long as they work towards a good thing, that they're going to have their best outcome no matter what. Like, it's really practical. That's why that 4 of Diamonds is there. It's very practical and stable and sturdy, you know. Okay, we'll do what works, regardless of everything. It's a good way to learn about what is always steady, what is always there, what is, you learn how to identify what is actually there, I'm even seeing like opening, seeing what is this made out of? How is this holding up? What is this? What is always here? And this can be on every level. What is it's not consistency. It's like what is there, like your skeleton. Your skeleton is always there. Without a skeleton, you're not here, period. That's always there. The body is there, you know, in some form. These things in your life that are there, they're always there. And then being able to separate what is always there and what is not always there. And learning that these are two completely different relationships. And that your first priority is with what is always there. And then what is not always there becomes kind of, is a secondary. Always. Is the result of the condition of the permanent. Your soul is permanent. Making the soul a priority, I feel that it's, you know, I'm feeling that a lot of people. I'm thinking actually since 2023. Since 2023, because that's the time period that's being brought up. Since 2023, I think that people started making decisions that are in line with what we're talking about here, and they were not doing that before. Maybe kind of not at all, even. And then they started to actually do this, which is a building process. And from what it looks like in 3 years, there's been an immense progress and a lot of nice feeling in there, and very, very good. And I'm getting the feeling that the spirit realm response, the other realm's response to this is really proud. It's just not even a word that I ever use, but that's what they've been giving me. They've been saying like, we're proud of the collective. Really. And proud of how they've managed to deal with really hard-hitting things, and from every department, and people made exceptionally speedy progress. That's what they're telling me. And this was really surprising. Like a big catch-up. Like maybe someone who had really been like snoozing hard like their whole life flipped open, like ping, switched open. Even maybe somewhere in the last 3 years, and then did what would have taken a whole life in just 3 years. Like this kind of speed. For their goal. So meeting the goal of the soul, which is was a big topic in recent recordings that I made. The soul goal and the goal of the soul. So that's really nice. I personally think that a lot of people are dealing with what's going on now. This is me speaking. That I think that the way that people are dealing, and that I've seen, taken note. I think a lot of people are doing a lot better than I thought they were going to be doing. And I think that all this emphasis, I think that the Department of Divination had a lot to do with that. Internationally. Yeah, Ace of Spades fails, four of diamonds. I'm looking at that as the Department of Divination, or like even in like the New Age Department, which is a New Age Department, like an Ace of Diamonds underneath the Four of Diamonds. Look at that, double Ace. Got through the gate. The collective got through the gate. And I think they were running so fast that when they went through the gate, they didn't even realize it. When they went through, they were just kept running. I think that's what's been happening. And maybe this also has something. I mean, people were running, but it seemed like right as the year of the snake was ending, I think a lot of people started running for the gate. And maybe they didn't get through the gate, like around Christmas and like Thanksgiving, Christmas, November, December, January. I think a lot of people tried to make a bust a move towards the gate, and they didn't get through. They're showing me the way it looks. It's really interesting. I can't even begin. There's no way I could explain what I'm looking at. But the collective got through the gate. Completely. That's what it says. Completely. Everybody got in. All souls, any inhabitant that has a soul, that has a soul. And had not just had a soul, but had done they realized, okay, like look at the clock, like, okay, now you need to start like cramming for a test. I'm getting like, okay, you have your soul, So now you need to complete this work, and you need to do it like within this amount of time, roughly. Like, and there might be more work, so you just need to like bust your ass, like just get it effing done right effing now kind of deal. And apparently a lot of people did that. And it was, like, really gnarly. I'm seeing people, like, losing their houses, marriages, businesses, like a big renunciation, which was what that would be. It would be a renunciation for sure. Like, and believing in the self. Believing in yourself. Like, okay, fine. You know, and doing the right thing. A divorce is always a great example of this. You know, like I'm seeing people, you know, really just, you know, they were choosing their own peace over money, which is something they'd never done before. Like seriously, like not being materialistic, or needing to keep some kind of possession, like a full renunciation. Like, okay, fine, you know. Like I see a man, you know, like they're married, they have the house. Like the man, he doesn't even consider even trying to remove the woman from her house, even though it's their house, but it's like her house, basically. Like she put the work into it, everything. This is where you'd like to remove her out of her house would be like completely nuts. So they like were, no, I'm not going to tell you need to pay me for half the house. No, I'm not going to tell you have to sell the house. No, I'm not going to tell you need to get out of the house. You've got the house. It's yours. Okay. Yes, you like this, like, and and only taking what they really needed, not taking more than what they really needed, and stress and pushing the button that could cause bondage. Renouncing all bondage, so total renunciation. And I'm seeing people that like maybe had really good income and stuff, you know, like seriously good income and like a seriously nice house and everything like that, like really comfortable. And it would be absolutely certain that wherever it was that they were going to have to like rent, and they wouldn't even be able to rent in anywhere near in what they were accustomed as their classification. Like they were going to have to settle for something like way lower than what they were used to. And for men, I do know. For men, it's different than for women. It's completely different. A woman can do this. She can. She'll immediately adjust somehow. But a man, to lower the bar on something like that would immediately destabilize and maybe even destroy his entire livelihood because of business, because of his associates, because of status, because of totally material-based things that are expected of people that typically have money. Like, I'm seeing selling the car, even, like going from like a really nice, new car to having to sell it and get even like something secondhand and, not at all a, not even a new car. And that person being happier with that. Happier with everything and feeling good about themselves for the first time ever. Because they see the freedom, they feel like a teenager again. Because everything's new now. Now you can just get where you want to. There's no pressure for you to meet anybody's preferences, kind of no matter what, anyways. And nobody, so it's all you, and that's fun. And I'm seeing these men like having felt really scared to go through this kind of change. And you can apply this to, it doesn't have to just be a divorce, but you know what I mean. I'm just like kind of giving you the energetic picture here of the divine masculine. And it's like, it's terrifying. It's like death. Totally. And they do it, and they're really surprised. Because after that, their entire life has completely changed. Because they walked through a door they didn't realize was full of what they really want, what they always wanted. And then I see like the other, like, and then they're having fun. They have fun, and they don't need to worry about anything anymore. Like it becomes like a death rebirth, and they're not depressed. And they're a completely different person. Like, people talk to them that would have never talked to them before. People show them kindness that never would have showed them kindness before. They feel more comfortable with more variety they feel like they're actually living in the world somehow in a way that they've never lived in the world. It's very liberating, that feeling. So I'm looking at this Ace of Spades fails and the Four of Diamonds and the Ace of Diamonds there, and so I'm seeing that people's prayers were answered, or their faith was answered. Their faith was answered. And people doing things not just because they wanted to receive a result from God, but they did things because it is what they want to do, regardless of anything or any outcome, or how that translates into their evolution in its accordance with the Holy Spirit or the universe or whatever. And that's really good. And they made it through the gate, and it's really, really good and stuff. And I see the masculine are feeling love. That now they can actually feel love. Like love is awakening in them, just in general. It makes them feel really good. It makes them feel the divine feminine attributes. It makes their vision different. It makes their experience different. Their emotional availability also changes. Maybe they were able to cry. Maybe that's not something that was too available for them before, and enjoying that. And having gone through the gate, the thing about that is that it's over. So they don't need to worry about having really deluxe realizations or anything, and then feeling, oh, then you're gonna go into some kind of revenge mode or attack mode. Like they already went through the gate. Like you got on the flight, it went there, it landed somewhere else. Like you're not in the same location, so that's just simply doesn't even need to happen and can't happen. And why? And you, there's no steam in it. And this helps the individual realize what is just the mind and the emotion, because it's nothing. It doesn't even exist anymore. So it's simply psychological. So it's just your duty to manage it. Which is relieving, because it means that you at no point will have any confrontation, which I imagine for men that would be a big relief. And it also won't it's just a non-existent. And so a lot of purging can happen, just let, getting rid of things that you garbage, cleaning, psychological cleaning. Body cleaning. Cleaning your body is really important. when you've had like when you have to do that. This is one of the reasons I was a major advocate for yoga. Major advocate for yoga and for health and vitality, and did it, and it was the only thing that worked. Like like that 4 of diamonds, it was like the only thing that worked. And also that I liked, that I felt like it was kind of one of the few things I could really connect to. Like I felt like I was on the same page with that, with, vegetables and gardening and just natural things in the natural world, in the natural way, is on par with me. That's my natural, my very nature. And I knew that was so imperative to really evolving and changing and dissolving really serious garbage and getting and making a body that you feel really good in and you feel, then you're alive. Without these things, you're dead. And a lot of people that were really healthy and practiced yoga, and which had a lot of like energy, vitality, they were drained. Seriously. Yeah. Because people that don't do that can't get that, and they would be drained of all that So maybe a lot of people have been released from things that drain them, for sure. I think people are also getting more relaxed with not being in control of everything. Seeing the benefit in it, seeing how actually you can relax into that. It actually gives you more opportunity to relax. That's the truth. So, now that we're in the gate, that's so good news. I want to kind of just throw a little rune here on the board. Just pick one out. Just kind of, what is this? Leech, emotional bleed. Leche, yeah. Not everybody feels good, okay? But I'm not reading for those people, actually. So, mortar, anchored, Kyok. That's really nice. Yeah. I do feel that the collective is very, and got this Kyok energy, and then also Leche Kyok. Number 68 and number 34. Yeah. And this emotional bleed is good. It's like big relief, It's not like the 3 of Swords, like, it's good. You don't need it anymore. That's one of the great things that comes with a time like this, is that all of a sudden there's so much you don't need anymore, and there's so much you don't need to worry about anymore. So you get to release a lot of baggage, and you become very, all this weight, dead weight, just goes off. Like a hot air balloon dropping sandbags, like boom, boom, boom. You know how, and I think that's been the big that's been the big thing that's been happening, especially in the last 2 months, and I would say especially in the last 4 weeks, like month. In the last month, or a little bit over a month, something like that. It's like being in a hot air balloon, and bag, and so it goes like whoop, whoop, whoop. I think that's what's been happening with people's with the collective, and through the up, this kind of altitude, like chup, going up, like being in an airplane, goes like whoop, whoop, whoop. But it's more like a hot air balloon, because you're going straight up, like going faster. You would start going faster before. It feels exactly like a hot air balloon. Drop. So there's something kind of easygoing about it. Like you might not even realize the difference in what's going on immediately, or at all. But you're like, like it drops and you go up. You know. How would you know? I'm seeing all the like clouds and stuff like that. Like, how would you even know what's going on? I'm seeing that. Like, you're going up faster. You've dropped weight, so you're rising, but you can't tell the difference. You don't know that that's happening, because you're just up in the clouds there. Like, it's just huge, you know. How would you know? And then I see the hot air balloon arriving in an area, like arriving and looking down and realizing how high they are. And that's when they realize that they made an elevation. Maybe like overnight, not even be able to see anything. How would you be able to determine? And then I'm seeing like coming in the dawn, you know, floating in the dawn and looking down and realizing how far up you were. And realizing that you were there. You had made it. You made the distance and everything. You know, like not very much longer to go, for sure. And at a good high altitude. Very light. I love hot air balloons. I have been in them before. They're so cool, those things, man. Alright, I feel like I need to close those rooms now. Alright, I'm going to put them over there. I want to see what the cards want to talk about. Yeah, so... yeah. Whew. there are some people in this moment who are they did cross through the gate. They crossed through the gate and everything, but they might be in a situation that's really hard, serious, like a major situation. Could be an absolute disaster. Okay, so like red light department here. They're doing really good, these people. They're doing really, really good. And they have a good they have this good energy with them. Very good energy with them. And they have superpowers. They definitely have superpowers. They know, no matter what, they know that where it is that they're going. They know. And they're very steady and really hard things. They're very steady. Not everybody is in a place of comfort and leisure. Not everybody's free. Very peaceful. They're being very peaceful, very, very peaceful. Very right energy present. You can feel it too. Yeah. Really good. Nice. I think people have handled all all the kind of hard hits that have been, all these kind of big deals that have been occurring in like the last month, 2 months, mainly last month and a half, 2 months. I think people, I'm really surprised. I think people are handling it really well. Really well. And really nice. I think a lot of people don't realize how lucky they were to come into the hard truth in this moment, because they don't realize how lucky they are. Because to come into a hard truth like that in this moment, when you know that thing is also not going to be part of your reality anymore at some soon juncture, that, that would change the way that you receive that information. But there are people who have been quite aware of things that weren't exactly dinner conversation for a really long time, and they had a different experience with that. There are different worlds in existence of awareness, and so everybody's going to be having all these different reactions to all these things, which is kind of a new thing. But the collective doesn't need to worry about it, because the collective went through the gate. And that's a really good thing to remember. And I just saw the Six of Hearts. You're already there. You're already there. Yeah. Don't worry. This is me talking now. Don't worry. You don't need to worry about anybody's outcome as far as like what the consequences of their life and their doings and their bullshit and their whatever, and what you don't even need to care. Forget about their outcome. You'll realize what a waste of time that is, and it puts you in a bad mood. And it's like a stupid activity, even. How about that? That's a stupid way to use your time. Some people might be finding that it's a lot easier, like that's not really occurring for them. So they're not bothered. Like the English, they can't be bothered, but I'm not bothered. Don't be bothered, Quick, automatic, you'll be surprised, like how all of a sudden people just aren't bothered at all, and they don't have to do anything about it. They're not bothered. Because they're not on their way to the guillotine. They're not on their way to the guillotine, and some people are. So they're going to feel different about things, and some people are going to the guillotine, and they feel good, like they're happy about it, and they don't care, and they're happy, they're happy to go. It's they're like, finally, I don't need to, but now it's like it's here. Like they've met their goal. That is their goal, is to meet the guillotine. You don't need to judge whether or not what kind of character that makes them. That's someone's goal. That's their goal. If they're meeting their goal, then why not? You can celebrate with them. Be and make them laugh. Be cute, Be cute. Be nice. Be. and I'm not talking about any of this in like a fake way. Either like you know, there's no I'm going up and you're going down. Actually, that's not it. Actually, you're both going up because you're both meeting your goal. You're both winners. Everyone's a winner. Okay? Hot chocolate. Which is also one of Nani's favorites. And everyone's a winner, baby. Everyone's a winner, baby. And I'm going to say it now. That was my ultimate prayer. This whole time, as I became aware, basically around lockdown, that we were now in the final epoch. And how long that would last, I don't know. But we were definitely there. And at some point, pretty early on, I think I was doing some divination and channeling and stuff like this, and the concept of everyone's a winner came in. And it's weird because of the way that it came in, like for me, that's really, I completely understand this, but it did come into my focus, you could say, through assistance, you know, doing channeling and reading and seance, you know, communion with the ghosts and things like this, and having all this experience with them, and which was rare and always rare, and I never ever took for granted the opportunity that I had to give service to something like the ghost world and the spirit realm in such the way that we were able to with them by being able to make it a televised program. And so I thought it was really great. And my most it's my favorite memory of life. Uchube, you actually became my favorite memory from life. Because, how fun, how it's the only fun thing. And I think that YouTube saved an uncountable amount of lives in the last 6 years. Just uncountable. And saved people from absolute despair, from probably suicide, from crippling low self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. I mean, like, and the sparkle and shine of YouTube, which is a genie bottle of make your own channel was meant so much and was a lifesaver. YouTube, I believe, is a genie. Is a lifesaver genie, and because of that, I was able to do something that otherwise I probably wouldn't do, because it's like a missing piece. Like without that piece, none of it would even really come together. And then when that's there, that's what made it possible. And I don't need to say how much YouTube has made possible. Yeah. And for this reason, I always think it's quite gauche. I think it's quite gauche to give YouTube a hard time. It's kind of like, well, they get a hard time. They get a lot of hard time. And I reckon they deal with a lot. And more than anyone would ever know. And people don't even take consideration. They're completely inconsiderate of the type of what it is that they are actually getting. And they abuse YouTube, and they slander them on YouTube and stuff like this, and it's not good. It's crazy to do that. It is. That's my personal thought. I always thought that's crazy. That's who gives a shit what the fuck they're doing? Write them a GD letter. Write them a letter. If you're a monetized broadcaster, then I think you have some kind of contact to them, considering you have a money relationship with them. So anything you need to say, you could write in a letter, because the other way is not a good. That's not nice. Yeah. It's an everyone's a winner kind of energy, YouTube. Everyone's a winner. And with outstanding patience and tolerance too, which is always in a conversation with creativity and freedom and fun and art and what is like how do you manage all this? What could you? Everything is like experimental, basically, with that. It's so experimental. Like what is okay and what isn't okay, because it's like completely new. There's a tremendous amount of peace in the channel. It's very cool. Very, very cool. A lot of peace. There's a really think the divine masculine's relaxing. Truly relaxing. That's good. There is a little bit of anxiousness in the air. You know, like people kind of like want to, like, you know, like some people, they want to, they just feel anxious. Maybe, you know, for no definitive reason. Maybe they just feel anxious. You know, kind of maybe a little bored or something, or like, okay, well, I'm ready for my Christmas present now. I don't care if it's summer, you know, kind of deal. You know, it's good to feel that, and I personally recommend playing out your emotions. You know, allowing yourself to do that, which is one good thing about like being alone, you know, is that you can kind of just be in whatever mood and stuff like this, and, you know, try not to, if you do drink alcohol, I recommend, like, really, if anything needs control, it's going to be that. I would say just not even, you know, limiting its access, even if, you know. In this last kind of season here, and especially in the last, like, 2 months, I thought to myself, man, if I had access to good alcohol, wine, you know, in this moment, I would be wanting to drink that. Yeah. I would. The moment was kind of, it was speaking to alcohol, like wine. Like you kind of just want to get, like, not necessarily like drinking really just to kind of make yourself, like, eat and go to sleep, or just take, you know, just kind of escape, or even not even to escape, just to, like, have some kind of different feeling. I reckon a lot of people who don't have any control over that, like people that didn't get in the gate, I think that they were doing a lot of drinking. I think people are doing a lot of drinking now, right now. If they drink, I think they're drinking a lot. It's been like a drinking time. So, let us see. What was you, okay, write out three of spades, veils, look. Yeah. The hard truth, that's the hard truth card. So that was the epoch, the hard truth. I'd say people are doing pretty good with the hard truth, and, you know, I feel the energy, like when you get a tattoo, like how it hurts at first, and then you automatically get some kind of endorphin release, and then it doesn't hurt. It feels good even. I think that's how maybe some people are kind of feeling. They're like, no, I like this. Yeah, I like the hard truth. Give it to me. Yeah, that's good. That's a good attitude. I like that. So, what else would you like to talk to us about? Hmm? Oh, look, a flip-off. 2 of hearts. Yeah. So, the soulmates. Oh, and that's like, that's me, knowing that since people got through the gate, now they know that they're going to meet their soulmates and their soul family, and their soul mirrors, and this spiritual beloved, and twin flames and stuff like that, lovers. I'm seeing the sun card in this also. It's really beautiful, this. People know they're going to get there, and they can. Because, now they can. That is really nice. I almost don't even want to take another card. I don't want to look at the bottom of the deck. Look, see, 10 of spades fails. Okay. So, 10 of spades fails on the bottom of the deck. I hope that you have peace in your life. I hope that you have safety. I hope that you have food. I hope that you have electric and your needs are being met. I wish this for you, whoever you are. And maybe that some people are listening to this program that didn't get through that gate. And they're getting freaked out. Maybe they're afraid of what's going to happen to them, and they can't know. If that's you, Spirit says it's never too late to renounce. Never. Yeah. And increase your chances of having a better time while you're in your process. So, So hearts, you might be surprised. You might have been a really bad boy or a bad girl, and you might be going to heaven anyways. Wouldn't that be a surprise? How's that going to change how you feel? What if you renounced now that was a possibility? So, I think that's good advice. And as always, it's my pleasure to read with you and for you always. We have the number 26 here as our last and final number. That's really, really good. Baby, we got hearts here, and it's actually all hearts, and with the 3 of spades fails. It's really nice, this. It looks really good. So I'm going to let the channel go, and as always, a lot of very cool, calm energy in the lines. It's really nice, very relaxed. I like that. So, this is Karma Control TV Radio and Radio for the Blind. It's 11:16 p.m. here at the station. Collective. I'm really surprised that we got such a long reading there. Really, really nice. It just like almost put me to sleep. Seriously, this is kind of one reason, one of the many reasons why I'm I'm not really doing reading too much because it makes me feel tired and like sleepy. I kind of know already that there's a sort of sleepy. There's a nice peace available in divination. There's a lot of peace available there. It's got a kind of lullaby energy. It's very lulling, very relaxing. That's good. I'm so glad. So, all the best.
Thank you for calling Karma Control TV Radio and Radio for the Blind.